Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pile on the Pylon podcast, where we love football but hate your opinion. My name is Donnie Andrew, and I'm joined by my co-host, Robert Kraft.
Oh, what's up?
You have a brain fart there?
Yeah, I kind of forgot what my name was.
Am I speaking English?
Maybe. Who are you?
Maybe. And Austin Frisoko.
I'm back like always.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. We had an absence last week, had some couple things pop up, but we're back.
Everybody
and we're better.
Was sick, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm
down with the sickness, man.
I'm still sick, but back and better. We're going to have a short episode for you guys today. Not a whole lot to talk about. We're going to open up with Robert Kraft, Patriots owner, who actually today was charged on 2 counts of first-degree solicitation.
Misdemeanors, I want to point out, too, which I don't know how you get a misdemeanor for solicitation.
Probably because he's old.
Long story short, he visited a Florida massage parlor for quote-unquote sex acts in the morning of the AFC Championship game. Just not a good look.
The morning of. He knew they were going to win.
Did you hear what the police had on that parlor?
No.
So apparently they have the video, in which includes Robert Kraft of himself and multiple other. I can't remember what the number of Johns is what they called it was, but it basically was all oral sex. They did not have vaginal intercourse.
Okay.
And they have the video of it, the ejaculation and everything.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's specifically
like Brazzers or.
I have no idea, but I don't know if it was Robert Kraft or like other people. But they said that it was very, very graphic content that they had.
Interesting.
That was a setup then.
I definitely don't want to picture Robert Kraft.
No,
doing those kind of things.
No.
But just from like one standpoint, you're a billionaire, man. What are you doing?
Go party with Gronk. That's all you had to do.
Really? If you go out and party with Gronk, you could be around his shoulder the entire night, and then you'd be like, "Hey, this is Robert Kraft," and all of a sudden, I'd like your chances to have a pretty good night.
Exactly.
There's a court date tentatively set for
the day before the first round of the draft.
April 24th is actually when it's going to be, so we shall see there. Just overall surprising, to be honest, because Robert Kraft kind of carries himself as the man, and do things the quote unquote Patriot way.
He was the last person I would have thought would have been allegedly. We all got to remember this is alleged. Until proven guilty. You're innocent until proven guilty.
Allegedly.
He's the last person I would have thought would have, in terms of NFL owners, that would have been accused of this.
Well, I just want to thank him personally for getting my Steelers out of the limelight, at least temporary. So.
Oh, dude, LeVeon Bell and Antonio Brown still hold that limelight. Good try, though.
No.
Oh, yeah.
At least for a day, and then we were back on the news. Don't worry about it. So.
LeVeon Bell won that $35 million guaranteed for
LeVeon Bell won $35 million guaranteed. We'll actually touch on that a little bit later. Speaking of potential landing spots for LeVeon Bell, the Oakland Raiders, John Gruden came out and said they are open to trading their draft picks. Currently have 3 in the first round. Good or bad move?
I think it's a poor move to publicly state that.
It's good and bad, because I've seen it where it's benefited some teams when they publicly say it, because then they'll get calls to move up in the draft or whatnot, and it can benefit them to get more picks because they have a lot of needs in this draft.
Well, it takes away their entire leverage from negotiation standpoint, saying, "Hey, I'm going to call. I'm willing to deal and get rid of all my stuff." That's negotiations 101. You don't want to reveal your hand like that. If they really wanted to push the envelope and get a good player, they should be publicly stating, "We're going to take Kyler Murray at number 4, or Dwayne Haskins at number 4, and get a team to trade up with the Jets at 3 to get one of those top 3 blue chip prospects in Quinn Williams, Josh Allen, and Bosa to fall to them."
It's hard to say that just because how some teams are viewing Kyler Murray. We're going to know more once the combine comes, but as of right now, I think it's a safe move right now for the Raiders to say that.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Every player and piece of draft capital has their price, and from there I can understand, hey, we're certainly open to trading our draft picks, but I mean, on the other hand, it'd be dumb for them to come out and say, hey, we're going to keep all of them, because you're kind of closing doors for opportunity to kind of expand your not only draft capital, but potentially your roster as well. well.
You don't want to be playing too much hardball because then no one's going to get called. Otherwise, if you're open, you might get more calls than usual.
Were they asked if they were going to deal their first-round picks, or did he just openly say this to get it out in the media?
I would have to think it would have came from like an interview or something like that.
Because I mean, the best choice of answer to do that when it's a question like that is just we're open to any and all offers of any team that wants to acquire any pick. Everybody has their asking price, you know.
I don't know. I just get like vibes from the Browns, because their former GM was it Sashi
Brown, yes.
Yeah, Sashi Brown. He was all about playing the numbers, and he was a big analytics guy.
Yeah, he tried to bring Moneyball to the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. It just didn't work, and part of that was the draft picks. Man, he had a slew of draft picks. Lined up for the Cleveland Browns, and I feel like just always traded down to try to get more, and just never panned out.
Well, and I think that it also has to do with he never hit on any of his picks. If he would have, I can't remember. I saw something.
He was in great position every time he ready to draft.
Yeah, he had a couple of spots where he could have taken some differential
Watson was
players.
one of them.
Yeah, and he could have really turned the Browns around, but he was a guy that he should have been a guy who acquires picks, but not a guy who made the decision on the pick, if that makes sense.
So he was asked in the interview from the Raiders official website.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The question was whether or not he would consider trading one or more of its first-round picks, and he said, I think so. Quote, I think there's a lot of potential for trades, and I think that's one of the things I'm excited with about Mike Mayock. What he brings to the table, he's got great resources around the NFL. Who knows? We may move up from the number 4 pick. We may move back with that pick. We'll see how it all unfolds.
Oh, okay.
I think that's
okay. That's a good answer then. The way that you worded it was
that's how they take it out of context. You know what I mean?
Well, no, because you just get on Twitter and then all of a sudden,
yeah, I know.
You see Raiders open to dealing all 3 picks. And you're like, oh god.
Everybody overreacts about everything. That to me doesn't scream willing to deal all of his picks. That just is a stereotypical GM answer. So hey, if you want to trade, I'm not against it, but so don't not call me. My door's open.
It's probably something to deter away from the Coliseum talks that they're doing. That's a lot of negative towards them right now, so they're trying to...
They're staying in Oakland.
They're staying in Oakland for 2019 and potentially 2020.
But it's not official yet. They're still negotiating.
I thought it was official.
They're just running out the details now.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still... they're definitely going to be there in 2020. Why want an option if you know your stadium's not going to be done?
Why not just go to the Chargers' old stadium?
Because that old
element's being used.
It's because it's horrible. Have you driven to San Diego and seen that stadium from the exterior?
It needs a really...
It's bad. That's the reason why the Chargers left.
Hey, it's better than playing on a baseball field.
I guess. The dirt field sucks.
Yeah, people can get injured.
I was back to the Raiders being trading picks, though. I saw an interesting thing, and you guys know I'm a huge Packers fan, and I'm sure our listeners know that too. I know. Wow, so surprising.
That's crazy.
Somebody was saying that if the Packers really wanted to make a splash in this upcoming draft, like say if the Cardinals do the unthinkable and draft Kyler Murray, and then now you have one of those 3 premier pass rushing prospects slips to potentially number 4, they're stating that on the draft chart, which John Gruden uses the draft chart for trading picks, 12 and 30 equals the 4th pick.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So,
interesting.
Just an interesting tidbit. Say Josh Allen or Nick Bosa fall to number 4 for some unforsaken reason, which please fall to number 4. I would love to have them. The numbers work out for that to happen.
That's a far drop, though, back to 10. From 4 to 10, there's a drop off on skill. Well, 4 to 12, skill drop there.
Because they have the number 4 pick overall.
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So they're sitting at number 4. Their next 2 draft picks aren't until 24 and 27.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to, they definitely have the ammo to trade up. I want to say around 11 12, or like 13, anywhere in that range. Because I'm certain one of those teams, whether it be Cincinnati, Green Bay, Miami, or Atlanta, I'm sure they would take one or maybe even 2 of those draft picks to move back.
Yeah, I think 21 and 24 would be a little rich to move up that much. Because look at what Buffalo moved up last year for their left tackle and swapping first from 2019 or 18 or 17 to the 11th pick, and then they moved up again to get Josh Allen at 8? No, 7. 6? 5? 6.
Bottom half of the top 10.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, 7. I'm going with 7.
The answer was 12.
7 or 9. 7 or 9.
Excuse me. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Obviously, we still have a lot of time until the NFL draft to have moves come and all of that good stuff.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, neither could wait. Where is LeVeon Bell going to go now that the Steelers announced that they will not be placing the transition tag on him? Bell will now be a free agent, free to roam anywhere. He can smoke anywhere he wants.
Except on social media.
Dude, did you see that post?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got caught.
So idiotic. I can't believe.
Well, no, someone. I don't know if it was you that brought up
It was
that
me.
he's not technically he's not in the league.
No, he is.
So no, but he's not like rostered on an actual team though. So they didn't drug test him.
But you're still subject to it, and especially if you have in the post.
Think about it. He was not under contract at all last year. He wasn't under any contractual obligation to not smoke weed.
Okay, yeah, that was not me that brought this up, and now my mind is blown out. That
Makes sense. Yeah.
Makes very good sense.
Yeah. But also, I mean, you're still free agent in the NFL. I don't know. I bet the contract is very complicated with the rules of that. But he didn't get punished as far as we know. I mean, it's been out there for how long now?
Well, no, it doesn't matter what the contract says because he didn't sign it.
That's true.
He was slapped with the franchise tag and he didn't take it.
So he's technically not a part of the Steelers roster.
Yeah,
yet.
no, the Steelers took him off the roster and everything. Or at least for the remaining 2018. But he's a free man, all 260 pounds of him. Where do you guys foresee him going?
260 pounds, 26. Yeah. That's a big boy.
Wow, and then you can add 0 for the amount of games he played last year.
There you go. There's a lot of teams LeVeon Bell can go to, but the amount of teams willing to pay him that money is not a lot. And I don't think he's what $50 million he wanted guaranteed, something like that.
He wants $35 million in the first 2 years, $50 million overall.
It's hilarious.
There's no way.
Todd Gurley's deal is $45 million total, 30 in the first 2 years. He's not getting $5 million over and above Todd Gurley on a deal, especially when he now went a year without playing.
Yeah. Teams, I've seen Colts, I've seen Jets, I've seen Texans. If we wanted a perfect fit, not including cap room, I think the perfect fit would be the Texans.
Cool cap room. The Texans have 70 some odd million.
Was it not including cap room, like anything? Like if you just said perfect fit, it'd be the Texans.
I think the perfect fit. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Indianapolis has Marlon Mack dominating. Marlon Mack and Nyheim Hines dominating as a 1-2 punch, and LeVeon Bell is 10 times the running back those two guys are, and he's then put together.
Yeah.
So I think the perfect fit would be Indianapolis because they already know how to use a receiving back as it is, and they have a talented quarterback like the Steelers had, and they have a number 1 wide receiver to really pull defenses off the top. So I think it'd be a similar situation.
My only problem with the Colts, and friend of the podcast, Logan Bell, brought this up, is that their GM has never spent either a high draft pick or big money on a running back.
Yep.
And, the kind of counter the logic you want to use with Le'Veon Bell, Marlon Mack and Nyheim Hines, they fit perfectly what the Colts wanted to do.
Right.
I don't think Colts fans can complain about the production of Marlon Mack and Nyheim Hines combined. So why would you go out in free agency and spend all this big money, assuming they're going to pay Le'Veon Bell big money?
And you need wide receivers and defense too. There's a lot more needs than just a running back.
Yeah, I think you need a number 2 wide receiver across from T.Y. Hilton.
But this free agent class is really not solid wide receivers in any
Golden
way.
Tate, Demaryius Thomas, where even then I'm like,
I wouldn't touch either of those guys. They're Demaryius Thomas
Crabtree.
is either I can't remember. Well, no, not Crabtree.
Crabtree got released too.
They're all approaching 30 or over 30, and they all had down seasons. And teams that traded 3rd round pick and 4th round pick for Tate and Thomas respectively, both didn't want to pick them up.
Yeah.
Keep them on the roster.
Here's the thing: you get the number 2 of free agency, and then you draft a wide receiver in the 2nd or 3rd round, depending how you feel comfortable, and then you just kind of grow them up from there. I think that's a good idea for the Colts to do that. And if you want to get Le'Veon Bell into that, that's not a bad idea.
Receivers, though, you don't really need a veteran leadership to mentor a young guy. You already have T.Y. Hilton there.
Well, you just at least have that second wide receiver while the young receiver is growing and learning the NFL
Receivers, I'd rather get out there immediately so they get developing chemistry with Luck. Or any QB for that matter. I think receiver is one of the easiest plug-and-play first-round pick starters that you should have.
Depending on what system they came from, because there's a lot of wide receivers that come in the NFL and they know the slant and the go route. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you still want to get them on the same page with your quarterback in game situations, even if it's just 5 to 10 reps here or there. But another thing, like you said, though, Houston is a very viable option. Young quarterback, run game would be, and a nice little dump-off option considering the line is
Dumb. Yeah.
But they need linemen, like you said, and then they got to sign Clowney. So I don't know how much cap room it's going to be after.
They have to sign Clowney.
That.
They have to sign Matthew. They have to sign. They're going to have to sign Watson. Next year, he's eligible for an extension. And they have a couple of other defensive players, and also I think Hopkins is nearing an extension.
Probably.
I don't know.
He's probably 2 years out, I would think.
But so you got a lot of money to spend there. And half of that's going to go, half of their 70-some-odd million will go to Watson.
All their money should go to the offensive line.
So my prediction is actually going to be the team with the second most amount of cap space. It's going to be the New York Jets. Currently sitting at $102.8 million. There are some key guys they will want to re-sign here in the future. Jamal Adams being one of them. I think after next year they're going to start to throw money his way. Mm-hmm. But no, just talk about a need at the running back position. I can't think of the countless amount of running backs they had touched the ball in 2018.
The amount of mediocre running backs touching.
Yeah,
well, they had Isaiah Crowell as their leading back, and they told him to kick the curb.
Yeah, Crowell was gone. Bill Powell was there for a little bit as well.
Forte was there 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. They just haven't had that big running back. Even over LaDainian Tomlinson signed with them, man. They just after that they never had a good running back to carry the football for them.
LeVeon Bell's a big back right now.
Yeah, it is. Per sources,
the fridge is back.
Taco Bell.
No, but it's just like it fits the mold. The Jets historically, I think, just kind of looking back at their track history and how they spend their cap, I do think if there's an NFL team out there that is going to give him the money he wants, I think it's going to come out of New York. I think being in the New York media would help LeVeon a lot whenever it comes to all the off the field stuff that he would like to do, including his big rap career. It's a fit. The Jets need a running back to help their young quarterback in Sam Darnold. They need a pass-catching running back because their offensive line, it can be blah sometimes.
They need so much. I mean, the teams that Bell is being considered by, they need a lot of help all over the place. It's just hard to, if they're going to give them that money, they're really strangling themselves for, what they can do, free agency or anything else.
Loki, who's been a kind of quiet favorite, has been Baltimore. The Ravens have been quietly one of the teams people were pointing fingers to for Le'Veon Bell to sign.
And don't forget, during the season, the Eagles were hot to trot with him.
Yeah, the Eagles don't have any cap room.
They're like this.
I know, you can clear
$2.
money. You can clear money quickly in the NFL. You just got to be willing to.
I think they're negative right now.
Well, they're back in the positive. They have $884,000.
Yes, but they have contracts that they can get rid of. Most likely,
it'd be their whole defense. It would be literally their whole defense to dump.
And I'm just gonna say this: is stop linking the Packers to Le'Veon Bell.
I was gonna ask you.
There's a better chance that Josh Jacobs is the 12th pick than the Packers going after Bell.
No, I've seen a lot of mock drafts in the second round. The second, third, you guys will get Montgomery.
Oh, I'd be fine with that.
That's where.
But I'm just saying, there's more of a possibility of Josh Jacobs being drafted at number 12 to the Packers than there is for them to go out and sign Le'Veon Bell to this stupidly big contract, fully guaranteed monies in the first couple of years, and really would strap us for cash to improve where we need to improve, which is, wide receiver,
linebacker,
safety,
I was about
pass
to say,
rusher.
Off topic, I don't know if you read my article or not. I put the Packers as one of the top 4 teams for a trade destination for Antonio Brown. How'd you feel about that?
Nope.
No?
No, I read if I'm good because if I'm going to trade for a receiver, I'm going to go and trade for OBJ rather than Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown's 31 years old. I understand he's got the best route running skills in the league. He's had great seasons. His first season with whatever new team he goes to is not going to be what he's used to because
does the money concern you?
Yes,
because while you will have to work out, as in whoever trades,
yes, of course,
will have to work out a new contract because he said he's not playing until he gets more guaranteed money because he's out. The 2018 salary that was turned into a signing bonus, that was it. He's not doing any more guaranteed money for the remaining 3 years of his contract. So if you can get him some guaranteed money, you're getting him basically for free next year because the Steelers have $21 million in dead cap due to him. And then you're going to get him for $11.5 million the following year in 2020. And then 2021, you're paying him $13 million a year.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought his cap hit to whoever acquires him.
No.
That's why the trade talks are sped up.
And basically, Antonio Brown is free this year.
Okay, see,
pending guaranteed money.
That changes my perspective on it, and it would come down to valuation at that point.
Yeah, well, mental evaluation too. You know.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing is the Packers have a lot of young wide receivers, and I really wouldn't want to see. And he may be a great teammate, and he just had certain people throwing him under the bus.
There's a rumor that he acted like that just to get out of Pittsburgh because he needed more guaranteed money.
They very well could be.
Yeah.
And it's just funny how all this stuff surfaces after all of this, not during his tenure there. Like during the years that Ryan Clark was there, and Ryan Clark was like, oh, hey, yeah, he was always like
You know what? If the Steelers make the playoffs, we don't hear about this. That's the crazy part. Antonio Brown plays that next week, and that's all.
The announcer going to throw that in every once in a while. We'll hear about it. You know what I mean? They'll slip in and be like, oh, look, they're in the playoffs without Antonio Brown. They're going to slide that in.
I don't know, man. If they make the playoffs, because what happens during the week after Antonio Brown storms off? You think Tomlin's okay with that? He stood his ground for the game that you guys had to win.
He did, and that's a credit to him because a lot of people think he's soft and he's a player's coach, but he put his foot down.
Yeah. Back with the Packers, though, I mean, if they can get him for a 5th round pick, 4th round pick, sure.
I don't think the
Antonio.
Yeah,
I think 3rd I would be okay with.
I think 3rd is your bottom.
I think third is kind of the market he's hovering over.
Just because the Steelers,
what 27-year-old or 26-year-old Brandon Marshall was 2/3, and Jarvis Landry was a 3rd.
But Brandon Marshall wasn't on the same level as Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Brandon Marshall hasn't touched Antonio Brown.
But younger wide receivers is what I'm saying. Younger, talented wide receivers were 3rd round picks. If he was 28, 27, 28, you'd be probably getting a 1st round pick for him.
But wasn't the Dolphins that were trading away? I mean, they don't know how to trade. For Brandon Marshall, wasn't
they traded for him?
Traded for? He's been traded so much. I was trying to figure which way. And then he got traded to the Bears, I think, for a 3rd, right? From Miami. I want to say it was a 3rd.
Yes.
I was going to say, because comparing that to Antonio Brown, I think Antonio Brown's value is around that 3rd round, like you're saying, Donnie. It's just from his track record and like how he keeps his body and everything. He's just in prime position all the time.
Yeah, I'd give up a 5th round pick, and even then it'd probably be conditional. Maybe a conditional 4th that he's on the roster, or we make the playoffs, or something like that.
Conditional guaranteed money.
Speaking of receivers in AFC North who are in the trading block, it was announced today that Bengals receiver John Ross is up there after 2 good seasons.
They'll get a 5th or a 6th for him, if that.
Yeah, if that. Yeah, drafted 9th overall in 2017 NFL draft. Basically just... I don't want to say purely because he was good at Washington, but after breaking the combine record for fastest 40 time, everybody kind of jumped on that hype train, and man, has he disappointed. He was hurt most of the year with a torn ACL, correct?
I don't know what the injury was, but he was a healthy scratch his rookie season for 95% of it, and there was reports that he was getting better in training camp with Andy Dalton and all this, and that they were going to be good to go, and Ross was going to have his impact that they were expecting as a rookie, but it never fruition.
Like on the plays he got catches and stuff like that, he didn't look bad. I don't know if it's off systematically, if there's just he's not learning the playbook. I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's talented enough to be successful. Maybe a new change of scenery could change it.
I don't think he's talented. He's just fast.
So, interesting fact.
He's a Tavon Austin.
If they shipped John Ross away and they get any other receivers,
dead money.
Well, no, the dead money is kind of like mad because he's due around $5 million per season over the next 2 years. The Bengals would be with only AJ Green and Tyler Boyd. Both of them are only signed through the end of next year.
That is interesting.
Very interesting.
And AJ Green's been hurt as of recent.
Well, AJ Green's going to want money, and I don't think
injury too.
I don't think the Bengals are going to want to pay him that money either.
Oh, I can't wait to see that offseason if he's a free agent. That's going to be insane.
They may want to pay him because they may have a new quarterback coming in at that time.
Maybe this year.
Derek Carr.
Maybe.
Don't mean to get the rumor mill going, but
Donnie's hearing a little peep peep.
oh no, unfortunately, I don't have sources yet. Yet. All right, and then last but not least, Kyler Murray may or may not throw at the combine. It's really just like a question of what he's going to do there. But
NFL Network came out and said they'd be surprised if he does not throw.
Really,
that's what they are hearing.
Interesting. Also, someone told me that he's bulked up about 20 or so pounds.
Yeah,
since the season ended.
205.
He's not running the 40 then.
I'd be surprised if he ran the 40 at the 205 weight.
Yeah.
Because that's all he is
But everyone's like in disbelief because nobody just put on that much weight that fast. So everyone's trying to speculate.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way.
Well, Taco Bell can add weight quickly to an individual.
But what kind of weight is it? Is it muscle weight? Or is it literally you're just putting on whatever you can?
If you're putting on that much weight that quickly, most likely it's just putting on weight.
Yeah. Just putting on weight to put on weight.
Because his frame is not that big either. It's not like he had the room to really mass out.
He's on a steak and potato diet.
He's no DK Metcalf, that's for sure.
Oh my god.
AJ Brown ain't no small guy either.
True. I saw that pick then today, but back to the point, he left football, didn't leave football. He chose football over baseball just for the more guaranteed money, up front at least. And people got, they started to talk a little bit. And this is a question that kind of yearly comes up. And with the CBA expiring within the next couple seasons, you're going to start
next
year, you're going to start to hear this a lot more. Should there be guaranteed contracts in the NFL?
Players, NFLPA is going to fight for it. They're going to fight for fully guaranteed contracts at a shorter term, too.
I hate it. Because it's going to be so tricky when they go over that per contract. Because there's going to be stipulations like
get ready for a lockout then.
Oh, it's already predicted it's going to be a year lockout.
I think so.
Isn't that the year that Sunshine is dropped?
Ooh,
2020?
It is. Yeah. It is.
So you said the CBA is good through the end of next year?
Let me look it up.
Okay.
But I believe it is.
Okay.
It's either 2020 or 2020. At the end of 2020.
At the end of next year, Trevor Lawrence will be a sophomore. Okay, so at the end of 2021... Sorry, at the end of 2019, he'll be a sophomore. End of 2020, he'll be a junior. So he'll be going into the NFL during the 2021 to 2022 season.
Which would be the lockout, most likely, I think.
Well, no, he'd be going in the... at the end of the 2020 season is when it expires, so 2021.
So he'll be drafting...
Yeah, that's the lockout year.
That's going to be rough.
That would suck for him.
No, it could also benefit him because they're going to probably change rookies and what their money is coming in too.
No, after Sam Bradford.
No, that's not changing.
We don't know. Shame on me. But they could change it. I mean, everything's going to be looked at. I mean, they probably have a script. They're ready to present.
It's going to be about marijuana. Marijuana's going to be a huge issue.
Which it should be addressed.
Probably HGH, because I think they still are trying to hammer out being able to test for that with the players. Like, I know they've implemented punishments, but they're trying to implement testing, like, on a more regular basis.
Which it should.
And they're also going to be looking... The biggest thing is going to be contracts, the amount of guaranteed money that they get. And I know the NFL players want more money in the salary cap. They want to start making the NFL pay like the NBA.
No.
They're making more money than the NBA does. So,
but there's only five quality starters in the NBA,
right,
on the court at one time, where you have 22 players essentially, because offense and defense. Now, if you want to be like LeBron James and go out and play offense and defense and excel on both ends of the court, on both ends on the field, I guarantee you get a $40 million.
And it doesn't matter if you raise the cap. That just means they only want more, and you're still stuck in the same situation. It's just inflation is all it is. It's not going to change much.
Well, the cap has been going up $10 million a year, which was unheard of after the last CBA deal. So it's just going to keep on going up. They're already saying Mahomes is going to get $200 million deal when Rodgers' deal was $140 million.
Nope.
So that's $60 million in two to three seasons.
Stupid money.
And at what point are you going to say that enough is enough?
Yeah. Well, no, you also have to think, too, at a certain point, the money's going to cap out. They can't keep raising the salary cap like it is, and then all these contracts might come back and turn around and kind of bite these teams in the behind.
Yeah, you'll put teams back 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Instead of 5 to 10.
Like the Browns.
Sure.
Imagine if you were the Browns and you had all those quarterbacks that you signed and they pooped out on you.
It could very well happen. This is going to be crazy. When we get to that point, this podcast is going to be freaking lit with all the information we're going to be shooting out.
But until then, thank you for joining us on the Pile on the Pile podcast. You'll give us a follow on Twitter at the PTP Podcast. Find us on Facebook, the Pile on the Pile podcast. Instagram, the PTP Podcast. Any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, shoot them to us at the PTP Podcast, gmail.com. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, please and thank you. Or honestly, I'll take 4-star at this point.
No, we don't take no 4 stars. We ain't no rookies. We take 5s. If you ain't leaving a 5, don't leave one.
Technically, we're still in our rookie year.
No, we are 5s. If you ain't leaving a 5, don't leave one at all.
So until you leave us a 5, my name is Don Adrian.
Skylar Burkhart.
And I'm the 5-star Austin Frizzoco.
This has been the 5-star Pile on the Pile podcast.